Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Andrew and this is the beautiful city of Birmingham. The reason I brought you here today is two reasons really. First of all, I wanted to introduce you to this beautiful city and show you around. It's my home city, so I know the area very well and I love it. I think it's brilliant. And secondly, I want to show you some urban landscape photography. So keep watching, it's going to get interesting. Now I've just been around the corner just there to a location where I have quite often shot before. And unfortunately one of the dangers of shooting in the urban landscape is you never know what people are going to do. And unfortunately just around that corner where I wanted to take a few shots, there happened to be a couple of guys sitting on the bench drinking cans of beer. Now I've got no problem with that, they're perfectly within their rights to do that, but I just did not want that in my video, and I certainly didn't want them eyeing up my camera equipment and video equipment while I'm around there. So I'm just moving along now to find another space to shoot. During the Industrial Revolution, the canal networks across the country were used in the same way as your motorway networks are used now. They really were the best way to get around during the time. They carried freight, they carried goods and they carried parcels up and down the country to ensure that everybody got what they needed. But during that time there were a number of toll houses built around the canal networks, and that building in front of me there is Cambrian Wharf Toll House. That originally was one of the toll houses that were used on the canal networks to collect the toll for use in the network itself. And I think it's a brilliant building and a great testament to what Birmingham's heritage and history is all about. The canal network, the Industrial Revolution. Check out the definition in that sky, the dark clouds, amazing colour there. That's something I want to capture and try and capture some of the drama of those clouds in this image. As we look around from the Cambrian Wharf Toll House, we look along the wharf and see all of these barges along the side of the canal, which again shows a piece of our history and our heritage. I've shot here a number of times and it's somewhere I like to come back to every so often and reshoot again. And while I'm here now, I'm going to set up and I'm going to try and shoot a long exposure while I'm here. So I've found a composition and I've set my camera up ready to shoot a long exposure. I'm at 30 seconds shooting at f/16 with an ISO of 200. I've set a 2-second timer because when I press the shutter I want to make sure that all of the vibration settles down out of the button press. And then at least there won't be any vibration in the image and I'll get a very sharp image at the end of it. So here goes. As I said, this is a 30-second exposure, so I'm just going to set that going now. So here is my image now. I will embed that into the video so you can have a proper look at it, but just looking at it on the back of my camera, it appears as though I maybe could have let the exposure run for a little bit longer, but also I've shot in RAW, so that won't matter too much because when I open that up in my editing software I will be able to get some of those highlight areas and the shadows back. So hopefully what you see there and what you see on the video will look a lot better than what I'm actually currently seeing, but I might give it one more try just to see if I can get a better image than that, and this time I'll leave the exposure running for that little bit longer. Just on the top of my camera there, I've changed the mode setting from manual mode to bulb setting. This will allow me to shoot for that little bit extra period of time that I want to try and increase that exposure on the image. I also now have a shutter release cable plugged into the camera, so I'll be able to choose when and where to stop the exposure while recording. Camera settings are exactly the same as before, but as you'll see now in the top left hand corner, you'll see there the B for bulb and actual bulb next to it as well. So I'm now recording in bulb mode. I'm going to try and shoot for about a minute, and let's just see if that works out any better than the last image. At 118 seconds the exposure appears to be a lot better, so I think this is the image I'm most impressed with. I've got quite a bit of definition in the sky there because of the different colours in the cloud and the darkness and light and the contrast and the colour and everything that's going on there, so I'm really impressed with that image. One thing I forgot to tell you earlier is I'm shooting with a one-stop neutral density filter, that's a soft grad, and I'm also shooting with a 10-stop neutral density filter. The reason for that is I want to bring down the light in the sky because that will overexpose the image and it will wash out some of the highlights, it will wash out some of the colours that I've got in that image in the first place. But also I'm using the 10-stop filter because I want to create that longer exposure that I've been talking about. So I'm currently recording a time-lapse video here using the camera. I've no idea how many shots I'm going to actually run off, but basically my exposure, my composition should I say, is this here. I'm by the Sea Life Centre in Birmingham, looking back along the canal towards the ICC, and I'm trying to capture the movement within this image as people walk by, as boats come past, as the water moves. That's what I'm trying to capture, and then I'll condense that all down to one shorter video at the end. So folks, just a quick recap. I'm in Birmingham where I'm shooting some urban landscape photography. I've taken a few shots using long exposure, which I'd like to show you as well. And on top of that, I've also tried my hand at a time-lapse video for the first time. I'm going to try editing both of those things when I get back to the computer. I'm not certain how the time-lapse video will turn out. Hopefully quite good. So I'll do my best to get that edited and show you that. In the meantime, keep watching, like, subscribe and share this video, and I'll see you on the next video.